Hello, everyone. We are finally back. As you can see by the title, we are in A to Z challenge mode. So, yes, if you haven't watched, my previous videos, I kind of talked a little bit about the current status of this challenge. And if you watched it, then you know, you know what the status is. But if you didn't, just a quick little update. So you'll notice that this video is about C, and we're going to be building a cat cafe. And you might be wondering, I don't remember us finishing B. And I would say you are correct, because we did not finish the bathhouse. And that is where this update will come in handy. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and skip to C, because honestly, I was struggling a little bit with the bathhouse in terms of what I want to do with it and not really having, a good idea of how to do it. I think my number one issue was Spirited Away is a movie I haven't seen in a long time. And I was just under the assumption that I could just go in, maybe pull up some reference images that I found online and build off of that. And that worked for the most part. But when it comes to the interior, I just need a little bit more help there. So I want to wait until I actually have time to go and watch the movie. Hopefully that'll be maybe this weekend, to be honest, because maybe not this weekend, maybe next weekend. We'll see. But yeah, the bathhouse is not completely struck. We're going to finish working on that at a later time, but I don't want to stall the series, because A to Z challenge, that's like what, 26, 27 builds? I can't remember how many letters are in the alphabet. So I want to go ahead and keep things rolling. That's why we're jumping to C. So hopefully everyone is okay with that. But anyway, yes, as you can see, we are working on the structure for the cat cafe, and we are building in Brindleton Bay. So when it comes to this challenge that I'm doing on the channel, not only are we building a build for each letter of the alphabet, but this is also a limited pack challenge. So I have given myself the limitation of using no more than 3 packs. And for this build in particular, we're using cats and dogs. That's why we're in Brindleton Bay. We're also using cottage living and get together, because that comes with the cafe items you need to have a functional cafe. So that is what we're working with today. And the idea here is I really wanted to build something that was kind of New England inspired, something you might see up north in like Maine or those types of states up there. And it fits perfectly in Brindleton Bay. And also, it's just my favorite style to build in, and I haven't done it in a while. So I thought, for the cat cafe, especially since there's cats, therefore Brindleton Bay, how about we go for this style? And for the most part, I feel like the outside structure came together pretty easy, because as you can see, it's mostly boxes. Nothing too fancy, right? Just a few boxes and a very simple, I believe it's called a gabled roof. I'm not sure, but everything came together pretty well. And then we're working on the outside here. I just want it to look very, I'm trying to think of the right word. Hallmarky. Again, maybe something you would see in a Pinterest photo, which is funny because I did, of course, pull inspo from a picture I found on Pinterest that I'll put here now. And I'm gonna be honest, I had a hard time deciding on what pictures I wanted to use for this build, because there's a lot of good inspo out there, and sometimes it's very hard to pick. But I settled on this one because I don't know, I thought it was most suited for being converted into a cafe. So here we are. And as you can see, we are done with the outside of the build, just going in, trying to figure out the doors, all that. And then next door, I put a little deco building. I couldn't find one in the game. You'll see me search through debug in a bit, but I ended up building one myself because I wanted to fill the lot in. Personally, I don't like the lots being too empty unless there's a legit reason for it. I tend to like my lots to be kind of crowded, I don't know, I just think that looks better. That's just a personal preference. So I went in and I built a little deco building so the lot felt a bit more fuller. And it kind of gave it that more like downtown feel. You know, if you were walking through a small coastal town, this is something you might come across. And yeah, that's what we do here in a little bit. But before we get too much further into the video, I want to say, yeah, hello, how are you guys doing? Hope everyone's doing great. Hope everyone's doing well. I feel like I'm starting to get back on top of things, you know, posting videos. I wouldn't say I wasn't consistent before, but nowadays I do feel very consistent. We're back into the A to Z challenge. I'm actually planning out the how to build a save series, so I feel like those videos are also going to be coming out pretty quickly. So that's good news for you guys. You have stuff to watch, and I have stuff to put out there. And of course, streams are going pretty well. So you can see here's the little decor or deco building that I decided to put beside the cafe. Honestly, nothing too special. Again, just some boxes, because that's what builds really are, right? Just boxes and maybe a few indents or bumps here and there. But that's our little next door building. Maybe, I think later on, once I start finishing up decorating this lot, I say this could be like the optometrist, because I use that sign that we have in game that comes with like a little magnifying glass. So yeah, that's kind of the story behind the building next door. And also, you might notice a lot of like pauses and weird movements when it comes to the camera, because actually I had recorded this as a long play. I was planning on uploading this as a pretty long video on the channel just as a treat, because again, it's been a while since I actually did any building for the A to Z challenge, and I wanted to treat you guys. But unfortunately, it takes like literally 5 hours using my editing application to export this video. And I said no thank you, because even though it would be nice to have a long play of me building this, I couldn't wait that long. I don't have the time. I'm sorry. So I think in the future, especially if it's a more small build like this, I might live stream it. I think that would be the best way to go about it, because then once I end stream, the video is already up on YouTube, and I don't know, kind of give you guys the opportunity to build along with me. You can let me know how you feel about that in the comments, but I think that would be pretty cool. And if that is the case, it'll most likely be during not during the weekend, because the weekend is, I guess, the streams for the people, if you will. But these streams will probably be during the weekday, during a really odd time for most of you guys, but I think that will work best. But enough of that. Now let's get back to the build. So now we're working on the floor plan, and I was just trying to decide how I want to go about building or laying out this cat cafe, and I kept it pretty simple, to be honest. I kind of split the build in half, and the front of the cafe is, of course, the actual cafe part. So we end up putting down some tables and, of course, the espresso bar. And then in the back, well, I'll get into that later in more detail, but the back is just kind of, I guess, the space for if you were looking to adopt a cat that you found at the cafe, or maybe the cafe, they have some type of, you know, working relationship with the local, what do you call it? The local, I forgot that word. The local pound, right? The local pound. So you can adopt cats. And if you want to adopt them, you can just go in the back of the room, you know, maybe get to know them and see if they're a good fit. So yeah, that's what the back of the cafe is for. So now we got the layout done, and we're just going with the decoration part. And I'm gonna be honest, I thought I knew what style I was going for when I started this build. I was more so thinking a very rustic, like charming interior. That's why I chose cottage living for one of my 3 packs. But then when I started putting up the wallpaper, so you notice we have that nice blue brick accent wall off to the left. and the rest of the wallpaper is like this really nice sky blue. I was thinking, okay, maybe we can still go with that more kind of like farm, rustic vibe. But then came the curtains, because building with only a few packs made me realize we don't really have that many options when it comes to curtains. And the ones I were finding, I don't know, they weren't really working for me, especially with the wallpaper brick combo I had going on. So that was a bit of a struggle there. But I ended up settling on these. Yeah, these from Cats and Dogs. I believe so, right? Cats and Dogs. I thought those were a pretty color. It fit the color scheme we were going for. And it still had a bit of that nice, like, country charm to it. With, like, the frilly ends of the curtains and the plaid and all that stuff. So yeah, we ended up going there. And then we put down some couches because I looked at a few pictures of cat cafes on the internet. Because surprisingly, I haven't been to any cat cafes. The only cafes or a cafe I've been to is a pig cafe, which is very nice. And also, they took really good care of their animals. So make sure if you go to any type of pet cafe, you do your research. Yeah, that's the only type of cafe I've been to before. A pig cafe. I have walked past a parrot cafe, so I peeked inside there. But yeah, I didn't really have too much to draw on, so I looked up some pictures, and there's just a lot of, I guess, regular seating, if that makes sense. So if you're not just coming in to like have a drink and maybe pet a cat if it comes across to you, then you would have these little comfy cozy couches where, you know, you can curl up with a fur baby or something. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, we have that going on against the windows. I thought that would be nice. And then in the space in front of it, we mostly just fill it up with tables and some cat trees and things like that. Oh, and also I had this idea of putting like the little paw prints as kind of a trim, because I felt like that made the wallpaper a bit more interesting, because as you can see, it's very plain. But with the trim, I thought that was a very cute touch. So I do have that paw trim kind of going around the whole room, not over the brick, of course, but I really like how it looks, even though it's, I believe, dog paws. It's not cat paws, right? Or maybe I'm just lying. Maybe it is cat paws, but I can't remember how the paw of a cat looks, so I just assumed it was a dog. And this part here is difficult. I suffer a lot from making decisions. Like, I guess I kind of have decision fatigue. So I was really struggling on what kind of tables and chairs to go with. Because again, I thought I knew what style I was going with, but then with the couches and the curtains and the brick, it was honestly all over the place. So the style in this cafe, I mean, I think it works in the end. But when I was building, I was just like, I don't know. And I was constantly saying, I wish I was streaming so someone can make the decisions for me. But I do think we end up going, I believe the table from Cottage Living, the one with, this one right here. I believe we end up going with this one. Like I said, at the moment, I wasn't really sure, but by the end of the video, I do think it all worked. All the decor pieces we went with, all the decisions we made, I think it did come together in the end. So let that be a little tip for you guys. If you're building and it feels like nothing looks good at all, it looks ugly, horrible, just push through it. Sometimes you really have to force the issue, and when you get to the end, it actually looks okay. It doesn't look that bad. And that was the case here. So I'm glad I just kept pushing forward. I didn't like delete the whole build and burn it down to the ground. Just kept pushing, and the end result was something that I was actually happy with. When it came to the espresso bar, usually, I mentioned this when I was actually recording this video live. Usually, when it comes to cafes, lore drop, these are some of my favorite type of builds to do because I don't know, it's just something about the environment of a cafe, making it really like comfy, cozy, kind of eclectic when it comes to the decor style. It's something that's really fun about doing it. But for this build, I didn't want to go too over the top for the clutter and everything like that, how I might usually do when it comes to a cafe build, because I don't know. I feel like since this is more of a limited pack type of build and type of series, I wanted to play more into that. So, make this build, I guess, user friendly. You don't really have to worry about too much. Not to say that my builds are usually over the top and very cluttered, because they're not really. I like to pride myself on not doing too much, and while I do like to go for a nice style, a nice bit of decoration when it comes to a build, I still value functionality. But for this series, or maybe not this series, because we do have the bathhouse, and that one's kind of that one's kind of a lot. But for most of the builds in this series, I think we're leaning more towards functionality. So as you can see, there's a lot of room in the front part of this cafe. There's a lot of space for your Sims to walk. You shouldn't really have any or many routing issues, hopefully. But yeah, that was kind of my thought process when I was building this. I don't want to put too much clutter. I don't want to have things too crowded. I really want this to just be a simple build that if you're interested in it, you can download and put in your game. Also, on the topic of downloading, I haven't updated my game yet. I probably will have updated it the day after I upload this video. So yeah, until then, you can upload the video then. Or oh my gosh, what am I talking about? Okay, guys, just FYI, it is almost 10 o'clock. It's almost my bedtime, so I guess I'm a bit loopy. But what I meant to say is, by then, you can download the build if you want to. Again, not many packs are being used, so hopefully it's something that's easily accessible to you. Then, as I mentioned before, I feel like this cat cafe could take very good care of their cats. When you come here, you don't have to worry about the cats because they look well fed, they're well groomed, all that stuff. So when you come in, all you have to worry about is having a good time. And they have a working relationship with the local pound. So again, if you're interested in maybe taking one of these cats home, you do have that option. So that's why I put up a lot of the adoption posters that comes with cats and dogs. Just a reminder to the customers, hey, adopt, don't shop. That applies to you guys in real life too. You should consider adopting before you shop. Yeah, so now we're working on the back part of the cafe. We have the bathroom. We have that little hall with the litter box. And can I ask a question? where do you guys put the litter box? Because I don't have a cat, so I have no idea where people would usually place it. And usually when I'm building, I just stick it in the bathroom because I don't know, I think, the cat does their business, you do your business in a bathroom, so why not? But I don't know. I'm just curious. I could look it up, but maybe you could tell me. If you make it all the way to this part of the video, then that's your sign to show me that you made it. Tell me where to put the litter box. But now, yeah, we're actually approaching the end of the video. So, like I said, this was actually a pretty short build. Originally, when I was recording me building this, I believe the build took about 2 hours, or just shy of 2 hours, which might still sound like a lot, but honestly, that's not really that much when it comes to building. It was actually pretty good. So yeah, this is a pretty short build. I was able to knock it out pretty quickly, and I'm proud with how it turned out. I think this is a really cute cafe you can bring your Sims to, and when I was playtesting it in game, it worked like a dream. I ended up adding I forgot what that lot trait is with the cats, but a lot of cats actually came and they were in the cafe. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but all the cats in Doo-Doo are sick. So yeah, if you're playing Doo-Doo and you notice a lot of sick cats, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why they're all sick. But other than them throwing up everywhere, the cafe ran really good. I got a lot of cute pictures of the cats. They were actually using the cat beds. They were on the cat trees. They were jumping on the furniture. Exactly how I wanted it to be. So I'm very happy there. And I guess before I end things here, because we're maybe a few minutes out before screenshots pop up, yeah, I just wanted to say, as always, thank you guys for tuning in and watching the videos. It really means a lot. I'm happy that you guys enjoy my content. Also, I want to shout out for everyone who's been watching the streams. I think it's really fun to just be able to hop on the game and play alongside you guys. Even if you're not playing, even if you're just there kind of, I guess, just following along, maybe you want some weekend entertainment. I really do appreciate it. You guys make it very fun, and you make it easy to stream too. I was very nervous about it, but I just wanted to mention it because I've been having a really fun time streaming lately, and I don't know. Yeah, I'm just feeling very thankful. That's all. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I have for you today. As I mentioned, some upcoming videos, probably another episode of how to build a save coming out later this week, so stay tuned for that. And I also plan on getting back into Meet the Townies. So if you have any ideas for any families or Sims you want to meet in Doo-Doo, my safe house, please let me know, because I wouldn't mind sharing those. But if not, I do have a few ideas of some Sims I can introduce to you. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here now. As I mentioned, screenshots will be coming up in a few minutes. So I hope you enjoy, and I will see you guys later. I'm going to wave goodbye now. Bye. Thanks for watching.